Okay, so to complete this task, what you'll need is an A4 sheet of paper, your phone, pencil, and some sort of measuring device like a ruler or a set square, something like that. First thing I want you to do is to place your chosen phone centrally towards the top part of your paper and simply trace around that fairly accurately with your pencil. All four sides. Remove your phone. Then, using your ruler, I want you to line up the long edges of your phone, and I want you to extend those long edges down to the bottom of your paper, both sides. Pretty simple so far. Let's just put a line here to represent the bottom of that phone and the top of the phone. So this first rectangle here basically represents the phone stand where it's going to rest against. What we need to do now is to extend this plastic down here to allow the phone to be sitting on a stand and to have some parts to be bent. So the first thing I'll get you to do is, once again using a ruler, is to measure down 15 millimeters approximately from this bottom line. Come down 15 millimeters, perhaps both sides, and then just join those lines up. It doesn't have to be perfect, this is just a sketch. That's going to be the first bend when we bend the acrylic to shape, so that'll be bend 1, will be this line here. This next line here we bend 2, so we're going to bend this bend at 90 degrees, first bend. So looking down from the side, we'll basically see this piece. I'll just draw a sort of small version over here. And then there'll be one bend coming out here. That's 90 degrees. This is like on the side view of that. And then we'll put a second bend in like so. So that's bend number 2. So bend 1, bend 2. And then we need a third bend, bend 3 down here to act as a base. So I'm going to measure down. I need enough room here for my charger to come up with its cable, so I'm going to allow another 30 millimeters. So we came down to 15, add on another 30, 10, 20, 30. About the same over here, 10, 20, 30. Join those two up. And then I'm going to add, so that's going to be approximately 30 millimeters there. And then I'm going to add another 40 millimeters for this base. So 10, 20, 30, 40 millimeters. We always work in millimeters. 10, 20, 30, 40. I'll use my eraser just to make it a bit clearer. So that's bend 1, bend 2, and this will be bend 3 of the acrylic, which is 1, 2, and 3. And the last thing to do is to mark out where on the foam do we want the hole to be for the charging port. Probably just leave the charging cable port at the moment, not going to worry about this audio one out here. So that's approximately, I'll place it back there and I can see that I need a hole to be either side of that, sort of central. Just going to draw those lines a bit more vertical, and I'm just going to come in, say, I don't know, a couple of millimeters in from the edge, about 3 there, and about 3 from there. So now I've got a rectangle, which is approximately probably about 10 millimeters in width. So I'm just going to put some dimension lines in here. So it's 10 millimeters in height, I should say, and for this iPhone 5, it's about 15 millimeters in length. So I'll just extend those lines there. These are what we call leader lines and dimension lines at 15. Then the last thing to do is just to put some measurements on here so we know how big to make the Cinedav Illustrator. So like I did just before there, just use my pencil, draw some lines out from wherever there's going to be a bend, like so. And put one line to join all those up, right through here. Put these things on called arrowheads, which indicate where that length or that dimension finishes. and then we need to measure those up. So for this iPhone 5, a distance of 125 millimeters from start to there, so 125. Then this one was 15, so from there there's 15. From here to here is 30, and the base was 40. Okay, so that's the sizes that we'll plot on the Y axis of our Adobe Illustrator, and then we've got our overall width, which comes in at, what's that, about 65. It's probably close enough, a little bit of overhang, so I'll just put 2 leader lines like that, and a dimension line to fit between them, 2 arrowheads, 65 millimeters. So now we've got our template or our net of our piece of acrylic, which we can then draw in Adobe Illustrator, and then we can get that cut out in the laser.